all the way at the bottom of this, we have this gigantic movement towards nihilism, that is probably right. But they act out in a way that Christians haven't acted out with each other.
The nation tribe.
Do they track in any way the Sunni and Shia split? Or is that
there's more than Sunni and Shia split. In Nigeria, in most of Islam, it was practiced by some tribes in Nigeria and by some tribes in the Amazon, actually. No relationship that we know of.
In the West, in Europe, of an inclination to be religiously discriminatory. Or George, when Washington said this is for a nation of believers,
yes,
he notwithstanding what he wrote to his friend in the letter about getting the job done, he didn't contemplate the kind of,
no, he wasn't talking about Catholics either.
He certainly wasn't. But we had the Catholics discussion on our last stream.
Yeah, well, no, but this is in Washington's context. It's a very difficult thing because I believe few people have been condemning terrorism in all of its forms as I have for the past 40 years. I don't think it's an Islam problem. I think it's an ideological problem. It's not a religious problem at all.
Right. So that is really the news story of our moment, which is that common cause has been made by two groups who, if they were to get their way, would undoubtedly be at each other's throats, which is Marxists and Muslims.
Isn't that interesting?
And by Marxists, I mean the very
broad collectivists. But the thing is that, remember how the Soviet Union supported, empowered, and virtually created the Palestinian movement, which was supported by Hitler before that as the Arab-Palestinian movement. This association goes back to the beginning of these problems, and they have a lot in common. Now, I agree, it's like Hitler joining the communists only to end up at each other's throat. In the end, they will, but they will when it's time to partition the spoils. Because in the meantime, like Johann von Leers, and I use the word with misgivings, was an intellectual of Nazism. Misgivings because I hesitate to put intellectual and Nazism in the same page.
Yes, because at its core, it was an anti-intellectual movement.
Exactly.
And despised intellectualism.